Hi, I'm Cindy and welcome to Hot Yoga Tales. This is a show about the journey of two people who've never taken yoga before. And each week we're going to experience a different type of yoga. Yoga is such an amazing practice for every person and all body types. This week we're going to be practicing a beginner and gentle flow class. It's appropriate for those people who are coming to their mat for the very first time or for advanced yogis who are just seeking a slower pace that day. It's going to be lots of stretching, tons of relaxation. We in the studio here do it in a warm room. It helps to calm the muscles and soothe the mind. Before we begin, we're going to take a moment to meet the two people who we're doing the 6-week challenge with, Kelly and Torsten.
I'm Torsten. I'm soon to be 50. I've been teaching over 20 years in the Toronto District School Board, so I make the long commute down there every day. I have one daughter, single father, so she's with me part of the time. She's fairly active, so I figured I need to keep active with her. Right around my divorce time, about 8-9 years ago, I needed to get myself fit or wanted to get fit, a catharsis, something to feel better. And I trained and I joined a gym, and I actually trained and did a marathon down in the States. I put on a little bit of weight since then. And so it's starting to affect my feet, my ankles. I'm on blood pressure medication now. So I thought to myself, I need something to break the ice and get going. And maybe this will be one thing to kind of lower the pressure of my stress. Maybe get me going on doing other things, because now I feel like I'm creaky and getting old. 80% of the people I teach with are women. So on Friday, a bunch of us went out for lunch, and I told them I was doing it. They couldn't stop laughing. They were picturing me with my butt in the air in spandex. So that was the joke there. So I may get more rhythm from the women than from the men. We'll have to see.
Hi, my name's Kelly. I'm a stay-at-home mom right now, and we have 2 boys, 17 and 10. Lots of fun to be around. And I'm also training for a triathlon for this coming summer. I've done 2 before, one when I was 39, one when I was 43. And consequently put on weight and stopped being active for a while. So I've always had an IT band issue or something that needs to be rehabbed while training. So I'm hoping that yoga will help. So I'm in the process of changing my life, which is not an easy thing. I don't want to change my husband, and I like my kids, I like where I live. But I'm trying to live this year athletically. So part of that is I'm learning to blog. I've always wanted to learn to blog. So I've entitled my blog, My Year of Living Athletically, and I track my daily kilometers, whether I've done core fitness or ran or cycled. I'll be tracking the yoga. And I just write about my experiences and who I've connected with and what I've noticed and what I've learned about myself, that there's some better days and some not great days. So you're asking me about whether I'm intimidated about having my body on TV in a yoga class. Yes, I am. But I recognize that part of self-acceptance and this point that I'm at in my life is that I'm curvy, and I'll always be curvy. And I don't want to live under those words like overweight anymore. There's such a negative connotation to that. I was kind of concerned about it today when I got thinking about what have I got myself into? But I'm more excited than nervous. I'm more eager than anxious. And so I'm stepping into it and going to trust the process.
We're going to get started with our beginner and gentle flow practice here today. Just if you're following along at home, be sure to listen to your body. You can challenge yourself without pushing beyond your limits. So as we always do with our yoga practice, we start with the breath. And here today we're going to be laying down on our mat, so make yourself comfortable there at home. We'll do so here in the studio. Just laying down in what we call our Shavasana position. There's actually a proper way to lay down on your mat. It involves pulling your shoulder blades together, releasing your spine down to the floor, and then having your shoulder blades flat on the mat. You take your legs and you straighten them out. Take them as wide as the edges of the mat, and allow your hips to start to open up with the feet splaying off to the sides of the room. Your lower back may not touch down to the ground, and that's okay. There's a natural curvature at the bottom of the spine. Most important thing is the breath here as we try to prepare muscles and our mind for our yoga practice today. Focusing on the breath, think about a pebble being placed on the top of your stomach. And as you inhale, send your tummy all the way up to the ceiling, lifting that pedal to the sky. And then as you release, the pebble drops back down towards the spine. Long, deep inhale and exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Somewhere along the way, when we start to get older, we only start to breathe into the chest. This deprives ourselves of much needed oxygen. If you send your breath all the way down to the belly, it's a more relaxed way of breathing. Sends more oxygen to muscles, tendons, joints, and cells. We turn our palms to face the sky to signify that we're willing to receive energy today. If you need to feel more grounded in your practice, turn your palms down. Just noticing how you're feeling here on your mat. Being very aware of your body. If your mind is filled with things to do, just allow those thoughts to float off into the atmosphere. Try to calm the mind. With each exhale, you're going to sink a little deeper down into the earth. Taking a moment to connect mind, body, and spirit. The breath is the fastest way to provide instant relaxation. You can feel the vibration of the air coming in through the nostrils, completely filling lungs and diaphragm. And then as you exhale, send out all negativity and toxins. Inhale peace and exhale frustration. Going to ever so slowly start to invite some movement into our bodies here this morning. Let's curl the fingers in towards the palms of the hands with the breath in. And as you exhale, release the fingers back out. Inhale, curl fingers tight. And exhale, soften. Now let's take those straight legs and pull them together on the mat so that now they're touching. Point the toes towards the front of the room, feeling the tops of the legs getting longer and leaner. Always balancing out in our postures, pulling toes back towards the shins, and maybe your heels come away from the ground. And then soften your legs, heels touch back down to the floor. Let's bend the knees now. Place the soles of the feet onto the ground about hip distance apart. Really important in yoga practice is the twist of the spine, creating a healthy spine, healthy immune and nervous system. Let's take a breath in. And as you exhale, allow your knees to drop over to the right, feeling that initial twist of the waist. The idea here is to try to keep that left shoulder blade on the ground, even though it may want to pop up. Pick up your right foot and flex it. That helps to keep your knee safe. And then have your ankle pressing into the quad just above the knee to apply some additional twist, sending left knee down towards the floor. Feel the stretch in your left side body. I'm going to come around and adjust our members here today. Inhale and exhale. Releasing that right ankle from the left knee. That foot touches back down onto the ground. Inhale as knees come back up to center position. Spine stabilizing just for a moment. And then on the next breath out, knees drop off to the left. That right shoulder blade stays in contact with earth. Left foot lifts away from the ground, flexing it. And then that ankle pushes into the right quad just above the knee. Noticing if you feel the same or different on this side, signifying more tightness. Never judging our bodies, but just noticing. remembering that every body is created perfectly. Just going to make one more adjustment. Inhale and exhale. On the next breath in, taking that ankle away from the knee, that foot touches down to the ground, and the knees come back up to center position. Let's draw both knees in towards the chest here. Flex the feet, take the hands, wrap them around the kneecaps, and hug the legs in tight. Thinking of this as a hug for yourself. Inhale, pull your head and your shoulders away from the ground. Start to pull forehead towards the knees. You're in a nice tight ball, that belly button's pulled in towards the spine. And then soften shoulders and head down to the ground. Release your arms off to the side, wherever they're comfortable. And then press the heels high as you straighten the legs. Soles of the feet face up towards the ceiling. You can feel this stretch along the backs of the legs. Amazing if you sit in a chair all day, or if you're a runner, your hamstrings tighten up. Send your toes to the back of the room. Now we're going to add some ab work here, placing hands on the quad muscles. As you inhale, you're going to take your head away from the ground and then shoulders pull away from the mat. Slide your hands along your legs, up the shins towards the ankles. We talk about the heart. Open it towards the sky, sending your shoulder blades back. Your spine follows your eyes, so look towards the ceiling and hold. Soften and release. Hands make their way back down the legs. Shoulders and head touch to mat. One more time, pull the belly nice and tight. Breathe in and send your arms high. Feel your legs getting longer, tummy getting stronger, and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften, shoulders and head touch down to the mat. Let's release the tummy by pulling knees in towards the chest. Another hug, and then sending them to the left, to the front, to the right, and back to chest. Rolling knees in circles, releasing tummy. And then in the other direction, always balancing out. And soften here. Place the soles of the feet down onto the ground, arms alongside the body. We're going to come into our Setu Bandhasana, or our bridge pose. Push the heels into the mat and take the hips up towards the ceiling here. Your chin is just slightly tucked. It's the back of the head that's touching down to the ground. A nice even line from knees down to the chest. Let's raise the arms up towards the sky. Elbows stay straight. And as you exhale, back of the hands touch down to the ground. Feel that amazing sensation of being willing to receive from the universe as the palms face high towards the sky. Always using the breath to send it where you need it today. Perhaps in your back, perhaps in your thighs. Holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift your hands up towards the sky. And release arms down to the side. When we come out of our Setu Bandhasana, keep your spine straight. That sacrum bone just above the glutes, touch down to the floor. Pull knees back to chest. We're going to make our way up into a seated position. Hold on to the kneecaps. We do something called rocking and rolling. We do it along the length of the spine. Only doing this if you don't have a tender spine or tailbone. Think of this as a massage for your back. And then end up here in a seated position. Adjusting yourself on your mat if you need to. Straightening out the left leg. Bending the right knee. That sole of the foot's going to press into the mat. Feel that nice tall spine grounded from the tail. Take the right hand behind you. Fingers are tented. Tummy's pulled in. Reach the left hand up towards the sky. Shoulders still really strong in the socket. And as you exhale, take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee and then twist in that direction. Send your right shoulder blade back. Your spine follows your eyes, as I mentioned before. So take your eyes towards the back of the room, adding to the twist of the spine. Engage the right foot. Those muscles are sucked to the bones by pulling those toes towards the sky. Lift the left hand back up towards the ceiling and straighten out the spine. Release that arm. Push the right leg forward. Let's repeat this pose on the other side. Bending the left knee, foot presses into the mat. Take the left hand behind you. It's really important to start with a tall, straight spine before applying the twist. So breathe in, sit tall, reach the right fingers high, pull the right toes back. Exhale, right elbow to outside of left knee. Apply the twist. Push that left shoulder blade back. Perhaps looking to the back of the room. Nice, strong, energized right hand. Back of the right knee pressing to the floor for 3, 2, 1. Reach the right hand up towards the sky. Twist to center. Right hand comes down to the ground. You're going to send that left leg off to the side and pull the right heel in towards your pelvis. We always talk about being balanced in yoga. Let's have those sits bones just above the glutes, equally planted down into the earth. Let's roll our shoulders forward. Sending lots of blood right into the shoulders. And then roll back. Send the left hand on the left quad, reach the right arm up and slide left hand along the leg. Hold on to the ankle and pull. That right ear is attached to the right bicep. Top of the head reaching to those fingers. Feel right side body get long for 3, 2, 1. Inhale high. Repeating on the other side. Left heel in towards your body. Right leg off to the side this time. Right hand on the right quad. Reach the left arm up. Exhale. Lean to the left. Send the left shoulder blade back. Maybe taking a peek towards sky. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale high. Let's bend the right knee, crossing the ankles and coming over top of them. Coming into what we call hero pose. Buttocks sits back to the heels. Reach arms wide to the side, palms face the ceiling. Inhale up. Let's do a slight back bend here, warming lower part of the spine. Look to sky, gaze up between the palms of the hands. They're parallel with each other. Sending energy out through the fingers. Now straighten the spine. Hold on to your right forearm with your left hand and reach off to the side. Inhale high. Right hand holding left forearm and stretch. And the center position. Take those arms behind you. Feel that sensation of opening up the ribs and the chest. Pull the glutes away from the heels and send hips and quads high. Drop the head back if your neck is not an issue. Feel tummy rising and falling towards the sky. Take the glutes back down towards the heels. Sitting nice and tall once again, reconnecting with the breath if you've lost it somewhere along the way. Going to take a quick break here today, and we're going to come into our Balasana position. So nice big breath in, and as you exhale, push your diaphragm empty. Take your head down to the ground, wrap your arms around your legs, and try to soften the belly, staying in this pose for a while as we go to break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're going to continue with our practice now. Pulling the glutes away from the heels and taking the hands down onto the mat. Making sure that the palms of your hands are directly underneath your elbows and your shoulder. Think about pulling the shoulder blades down and away from the ears so that the neck stays long. Just gazing down between the thumbs, making a nice flat back surface. It's the top of the head that's reaching towards the front of the room, tailbone reaching behind you so that your spine is nice and long. Engaging tummy muscles here and redistributing the weight, taking the right knee away from the earth, and then starting to rotate at the hip, sending that knee off to the side, and then lowering it back down towards the mat. Inhaling high and exhaling low, focusing on that right glute, breathing up, out and down. This time holding that knee at the top and then sending the foot down onto the floor so that that heel is in line with the knee and the toes are pointing towards the side wall. Press the left hand down into the earth and twist open, reaching right hand up towards the sky. If you want to increase intensity of your practice today, you can tuck the left toes under and take that knee away from the mat. Always your choice, honoring your body. Reach that hand towards the front now, stretching tall from those fingers out through the back heel. Reach that hand high. Send it forward. And then taking that hand back down onto the mat, lowering the back leg. Right knee comes back into tabletop position. Send the glutes to the heels, stretching out the shoulders, walking fingers forward. Third eye touches down to the mat. And then shifting weight back up to tabletop position. This time, redistributing the weight, taking the left knee away from the mat. Nice strong arms, bones are stacked, knee comes away from the ground, and roll that knee up, rotating from the hip, and lower the knee down. Inhale high and low, nothing moving but that hip, high and low. One more time, up we go, and then plant that foot down onto the ground, toes spoiling outwards. Pressing right hand into the mat as leverage as you reach the left hand towards the ceiling and look high. Leaving the pose here always an option, or advancing by taking that left knee away from the ground, tucking those toes under. Feel the energy radiating from the top of the head out through the back heel and left fingers high to sky. Drop that right knee down towards the ground. Twist your body back to a neutral position. Left knee comes back into tabletop. We're going to come into plank just for a moment to find ourselves in a proper downward facing dog position. Make sure that your shoulders are strong and your back muscles are engaged. And then send your legs behind you, tuck your toes under, and push energy out through the heels and the top of the head. One of the most amazing poses for core strength. Pull the tummy in tight. Now, press into your knuckles, less into the palms of your hands. Pull energy into your center and distribute weight back and high. There's a little pop of the buttocks here as you send a little extra curvature towards the bottom of the spine. Ears in between biceps, feet about hip distance apart. An amazing pose, engaging every muscle in your body. We're going to shift back into our planked position. Hands and feet don't move, just a rotation here of weight. And pushing back into your downward facing dog. Let's bend the right knee, allowing left hamstring to release. Straighten out the right knee and bend the left. Straighten the left leg. Press the earth away from you. Take the right leg away from the ground for a three-legged dog position. And then, as you shift into your plank, bend the right knee and plant the right foot down onto the ground in between your hands. Feel that sensation of the hips sinking down towards the ground. That stretch in the left quad and psoas muscle. Try to square your hips off here. Allow the left knee to touch down to the ground. Tummy muscles are strong as your hands come away from the mat. Palms flip up towards the ceiling and your arms reach high with the breath in. Palms touching overhead. So nice little bend of the lower back here to gaze up towards the sky. Holding, sinking hips, breathing wherever you need the oxygen in your body today. Now let's straighten the spine. Release the arms down. Keeping hands on hips, or for a little more stretch of the left quad, bend that knee, flex the foot to protect the knee, and reach behind you to hold on to that ankle. You can reach the right hand forward, or perhaps wrap it around to hold that ankle. Letting heart shine forward for 3, 2, 1. Release the grip of the ankle, those toes touch down to the ground. Press your hands into the mat and release the right knee behind you into a tabletop position. We're going to do cat and cow here in between the series on the other side. So, press the ground away from you to come into cat. Round your spine and spread your shoulder blades. Look to your belly button. Tilt your pelvis in. Enter into cow pose by rotating pelvis back, dropping the belly, pulling your shoulder blades together and looking forward. Roll through cat and cow, following the pace of your own breath, using your own timing. Blades pull together on cow, and they spread wide on cat, making space between the scapula. One more of each. Remembering to connect with that breath, and then ending in a flat tabletop surface. Coming into plank just for a moment to find our downward facing dog once again. Pushing knuckles into the ground and taking buttocks behind you, and then lifting it up towards the ceiling. Take the left leg behind you in a 3-legged dog. Hips stay square. Shift the weight forward, bend that knee, and place that foot down onto the ground. Make sure that that knee is over top of that ankle and that you're low in your lunge, as low as you can here today. Allow the right knee to bend down towards the floor. Tummy muscles are snug and engaged. Your hands come away from the mat. Palms flip up. There's lightness in the arms with the breath as they reach high and palms touch. You can leave the spine straight, gazing forward, or for a little more, compress the lower spine. Look to the sky. Breathe into that right quad. Straighten out the spine, neck, and head. Arms release off to the side. Bend that back knee if it's in your practice, perhaps holding on to the ankle. Flexing that foot and then reaching left hand forward. That heel comes in towards the glute. Holding. If you're holding onto both ankles, feel the space between the ribs with the breath. For 3, 2, 1. Release the grip of the ankle. The toes come down towards the ground. Hands press into the mat. From here, we're going to come up into a standing position. Left heel pushes to earth. Right knee comes away from the ground. And then step right foot up to the left. We're going to find ourselves in a Uttanasana position. The fingers touch down to the toes. The head relaxes. Press that tailbone behind you so that you can feel the stretch behind the legs. We're going to do a lovely vinyasa flow. Hands press to the shins as you flatten out your back and the top of the head reaches towards the front of the room. From here, drop back down to your Uttanasana. Fingers touch to toes. Relax the head. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Hinge at the hips. Spine stays straight. Arms off to the side, reaching far and tall. Thumbs come to a prayer position, pressing palms together. Follow the breath, inhale up. Exhale, fold forward, fingers touch to toes. Inhale, hands press to the shins and the back flattens out. Breathe out and relax back down to Uttanasana. Reach wide and far. Hands touch. Hands come to Anjali Mudra position. This time we're going to offer energy around us. Inhale up. Release energy out. Fingers touch back down to toes. Hands press to the shins, creating a flat back. Fingers touch down to toes. This time we're going to gather energy. Reverse swan dive. Pull that energy in. Draw it up together. And then pull it into heart center. One more. Adding a back bend this time. Reach high. Look to sky. Bend the back. Then straighten it and fold forward into Uttanasana position. Fingers press to the shins and the back flattens out. Exhale down. Let's stay here. Soften the knees. Allow tummy to just touch to the top of the thighs. We're going to come into our chair position now. A slight tilt of the pelvis, pulling tummy tight. Take arms to the hips. Or if it's in your practice and you want a little bit more today, take the arms off to the side and have the fingers reach high. Palms face each other, biceps hold to ears. Holding. Press into the heels so that you can feel those leg muscles working. Be strong and energized and balanced for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's press the heels into the mat. Arms release to the side. I'm going to come into our balancing pose today. Many of you may already know tree pose. It's amazing to help the mind balance, improve nervous system. So first we're in our Tadasana, or our mountain pose. Your feet are about hip distance apart, toes slightly turned in towards each other. Roll the shoulders back and down. The chin is slightly tucked, so the top of the head is reaching towards the sky. Think about shifting weight over to the right side, perhaps spreading those toes wide. Ground down into that foot. Then lift the opposite foot away from the ground. It's nice and light, and that sole presses in to the quad muscle on the other side. If you need to take it down a notch, it can press into the calf, or if balance is a bit of an issue today, your toes can touch down to the ground into what we call a kickstand position. Whatever's available to you. Toes point directly down. Think about pressing the hips forward and pushing the knee back. Your arms can do whatever they feel like doing, perhaps cactus position, or reaching arms tall, perhaps waving in the wind. Maybe closing the eyes for more challenge here on your mat today. Let's pull the hands back down to prayer position and release that foot into Tadasana. Bending the knees, spine stays straight. A little twist here in between Vrikshasana on the other side. Let's twist, left elbow to outside of right knee. Push it into the mat. Try to have the thumbs meet heart center. If you want more challenge, you can pull that left foot away from the ground, balancing just on the right. Continue to apply the twist and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. That foot touches down to the ground and forward. Twist in the opposite direction. Right elbow to outside of left knee. Push. Look to the side wall, even to the sky. Try to keep your hips square. Maybe that right foot comes away from the ground. Drop that foot if it was high. Undo the twist. Press into the heels. Come back up, preparing for tree on the other side. Shifting weight to the left foot this time. Shoulders down and back, nice long neck. Roots down into the earth. Lift the left foot away from the ground. Press it into that thigh on the opposite side, or the calf muscle, or down to the floor. It's that sensation of thigh resisting foot and foot resisting thigh where you find your balance from your core. Perhaps taking arms up high once again. Maybe palms pressed together, creating a diamond shape with the arms. Press the hips forward and the knee back. Take a moment here to think about that connection between mind, body, and soul. Perhaps closing the eyes if you need more challenge for balance today. Reach arms high and off to the side, and allow foot to touch down to the ground. Breathe in and stretch arms wide and palms face up and touch. And soften into Uttanasana, fingers touch to toes. We're going to do a bit of work here in a wide angle bend, taking legs farther apart, toes pointing directly forward. Hands to hips, nice tall spine, head and neck. Let's fold forward. Then taking hands all the way down to the ground. Reach the right hand high, twisting open. Push the tail behind. Right hand down to the ground, left hand twists open to the other side. Left hand down to the ground, hands to hips, elbows to sky, and lift. We're going to come into our squat position now. Heel toe your legs a little bit closer together. Breath in nice and tall. And as you exhale, bend the knees and take the arms in between the legs. Just come down to the level that's right for you. We're going to stay here in our squat position, opening up the chest, softening the eyes as we take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. To release out of your squat position, release the palms from each other, take the hands behind you, and gently allow glutes to touch down to the ground. We're going to be in a cross-legged position here on our mat. Roll the shoulders back and down. Leaving the right hand behind you, fingers tented to the floor. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee with a big breath in, tall spine. Exhale, twist off to the side. That hand pulls on the knee. If you'd like an extra twist today, take that back hand and have it tuck into the opposite thigh. And continue to look towards the back of the room. It's the top of the head that's reaching towards the ceiling. Soften the grips of the hands and undo the twist. To balance out in our asana, take the opposite leg forward, perhaps a little bit less comfortable and natural. Left hand behind this time, and the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Big breath in, exhale, and twist. That left hand can find the right thigh and pull. Pull the tummy in nice and tight as you twist off to the side. And release, arms forward. Take hands behind you. Let's roll over the ankles and send the knees down towards the ground and look up towards the ceiling, pressing hips high, pulling shoulder blades together behind you. Holding for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then soften glutes back down to the mat. Let's practice our eagle arms here today. Taking arms out in front of you with the palms facing down towards the ground, fingers stretched wide. Let's cross the arms here, right elbow on top of the left, and then wrap the arms around each other until your palms find each other. Then start to lift those fingers up towards the ceiling as your shoulders drop down your back. So your shoulders and your fingers are reaching in the opposite direction. Breathe into the space you're creating between the shoulder blades. Tuck the chin, pull tummy tight, twist the arms for 3, 2, 1, and elbows come back down towards the tummy, unraveling the hands, reaching arms wide. This time crossing left elbow on top of the right, twisting arms. If your palms don't meet, the back of the hand is fine. Feel that sensation of drawing energy in as you roll your arms around each other. Pull blades down your back and lift fingers towards the sky. Gaze to the wrists, pull the tummy tight, make the pose something as you reach high for 3, 2, 1. Elbows come down towards the ground. Unravel the hands here. Let's do a little bit of work for the core. We're going to pull the knees in towards the chest. I'm going to give you a few options here for what we call Navasana pose, also known as boat pose. Shoulders are strong and down. Belly button pulled in towards the spine. The heels come away from the ground. Toes flex. Arms off to the side. Palms face to the floor. You can leave the pose here. You can hold on to the backs of the legs if you need a little extra support today. If you'd like to take it up a notch, have those calf muscles parallel with the ground. Always a variety in yoga here. We always refer to it as a practice because we continue to practice throughout our lives, continuing to add. You could send the legs straight, and if you want even more, taking the arms, reaching them high, sending belly forward, fingers energized and toes pulled back. Holding here for 4. You start to sag, lift. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come into reverse table to release the tummy. Feet are down on the ground. Hands behind you, fingers pointing to the back. Then press into the heels and lift glutes away from the ground. Send hips towards the sky. Breathe into your shoulders. Belly rises and falls up towards the ceiling and back down towards the spine. Just releasing core. And let's soften the glutes back down towards the ground. Push the legs straight forward. Heels reaching towards the front of the room. Let's find that tall spine. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Elbows are straight here. Pull the toes back. Let's open arms wide to the side. Send the left hand forward and the right hand back, twisting from the tummy. Inhale and lift, palms face each other. Exhale, twist open the opposite way. Other hand back, right hand forward. One more time on each side. Inhale and lift and twist and off to the right. Use the breath to come high and undo the twist. And exhale, other direction. And breathe in and up. And release, hands to the quad muscles. Inhale high. As you exhale, slide the hands down your legs. Just a forward fold here, holding on to the shins or the ankles. Think about this as folding from the hips. So it's the tummy that's reaching forward. We're not rounding out the spine. We're pulling ourselves down with a nice straight spine and shoulders pulled together behind you. Toes pulled back. Breathe into your hamstrings. Just going to deepen the pose. Inhale. And exhale. Nice soft shoulders down and away from the ears. Nice big breath in. And release forward. Beautiful. Inhale, slide those hands back up the legs. We're going to hold on to the right knee. It bends in towards the chest. The fingers are interlaced in front of that kneecap. You're going to release your spine down to the ground. Before your shoulder blades touch, pull them together behind you. Then release them and head touches down to the floor. Bring that right knee in towards the chest. Hold on to it with the left hand. Notice both feet are flexed here. That helps to suck the muscles to the bones and make yourself strong. On the exhale, pull that right knee across your body and send it down to the floor on the other side. If it doesn't touch, that's okay. You can apply a little bit of pressure with the left hand. Think about that left leg. It's still active and engaged, pushing energy out through that heel. You can adjust your upper body here so that your right shoulder blade touches down to the floor. We're wringing out our organs, releasing toxins from the body. So now as we undo this twist, it's fresh blood that enters into those organs, making them healthy and alive. Push that right foot forward as if there's something heavy in your way. You're strong and active. Left knee comes in towards the chest. Hold on to it with the right hand. Give it a hug. Release left arm off to the side. Palm faces to floor. Again, toes pulled back. And then release left knee off to the side, and that knee touches down to the ground. Perhaps applying some pressure here to feel that extra stretch of the left side. Push out through the right heel. That leg is straight. Notice if you're any tighter or looser on this side. Just being aware and never judging. Never caring what your neighbor is able to do. Just focusing on your own practice. Pull that left knee back up towards the center position. Release that foot down to the ground. Let's bend the right knee. Both feet flat to mat now. Let's push up into our Setu Bandhasana. Let's take the arms off into a cactus position with the elbows bent and the palms facing towards the sky. Breathing here. Noticing the breath starting to slow its pace, relaxing down into the mat as we start to near the end of our practice today. Let's release that sacrum just above the glutes down to the floor. Spine stays straight as you do so. Take the hands behind the head, elbows off to the sides. As you inhale, pull the belly tight. Lift the head and the shoulders away from the ground. We're not crunching forward. We're lifting heart up towards the sky. And then lower shoulders and head down to the ground. Just a few more. Up we go. And down. Inhale high. And low. One more. Up. And down. Let's end with butterfly circles here today. Pulling knees in towards you, opening them wide to the side, and then sending them forward. Nice big circles here on the ceiling. Changing directions now, knees in the other way. And then thighs pulled together. You're going to allow the soles of the feet touch to the mat, and then slide them. Legs are open as wide as the edges of the floor of the mat. Shoulder blades are drawn together, chin is tucked. We're in our Shavasana position once again. Reconnecting with the breath, palms face up to receive energy. Let's find that space within ourselves that's calm and relaxed. Breathe in peace, send that pebble on the tummy high. Exhale, soften tummy back down towards the spine. Inhale. Exhale, letting go of anything that's not serving you. Creating space in your life. And release. From here, rolling over onto the right side. Knees are bent. And then slowly pulling up into a seated position. Legs are crossed. Posture is fine. The spine is tall. Think here about rolling the shoulders back, dropping them down. Taking arms off to the side, the palms face to ceiling. Inhale, up overhead. Feel the lightness in your heart as you do so. Drop thumbs to third eye to connect mind, body, and spirit. Release thumbs now to the heart. I want to take this time to thank you for joining Hot Yoga Tales. Stay tuned to see how Kelly and Torsten did in their practice this week. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
When I first got there, I was a little self-conscious because I was the only guy there. And then it was really funny because I felt sort of like a peeping Tom, because every time some move went up, I'd kind of sit up and look to see what someone else was doing, because I wasn't sure if what I was doing was right. So, you know, I'll be honest, I haven't really done anything in 2 years, so I don't have a lot of fitness. I'm super tight. So some of the stuff was hard. And holding some of the things, and the balance was really hard. And, you know, I'm carrying a lot of extra weight. So some of the stuff where even you had to do things where you were doing something on your arms, the upper body isn't there like it was when I used to work out at the gym. It's funny, you know, normally I come home and I throw on the TV. I didn't really have any urge to. I went to bed earlier than I might normally have, and I read a book, and I slept pretty well. The only thing I found hard, and it's a personal thing for me, is that I've got a fairly major hernia out of my belly button, and that's really compromised the sort of strength of my stomach. So there were some of the core moves that I just didn't even try, because I know that was just going to exacerbate what I have going on, and until I get the surgery done, those are certain things I'm not going to try. So I'm aware that if I try to do any more difficult classes, that could be really hard on me.
So I enjoyed very much being in the warm room. Turns out I have better flexibility than I've been living under the illusion of for the past 40 years of my life. And, you know, I did a great downward dog, so that was kind of fun. I like to feel good at things, and so this whole journey of fitness for me is really, I'm out of my comfort zone because I'm not feeling really competent about a lot of it. But it's good to be outside my comfort zone. Like I'm reaping the benefits of exercise, and I'm really looking forward to the additional benefits of yoga. I think stretching out the IT band is going to be really great for the running and the cycling that I'm doing, and I think the mind-body thing is something I'm really looking forward to. So the blog is more about, wow, I had to show up here today and wear the clothes that I'm going to wear in the class, which are appropriate to a class but feel a little weird under bright lights, you know, that kind of thing. I realize that there's more people vested in the thing that I'm interested in doing than I ever realized, and so I'm glad that I'm sharing it, even though it's a bit nerve-wracking.